keep it simple. So, Pris, I have a question for you, as always.
Oh, why do I have to answer all the questions here?
Because that's how the show is structured.
Okay.
And if you don't, then we can't proceed with the episode.
What's the question?
Do you know what ESG investing is?
Environmental, social, good. Yes.
Sorry, what was the last one?
Good. It's just all good, environmental good, social good.
And good. Okay, you got like 2 out of 3, right? I didn't expect
Government. G.
Governance.
Governance.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
so
last name.
yeah, so Pris got it almost completely right. ESG investing, and that's what we're going to talk about today. It stands for E for environmental, S for social, and G for
Good.
governance. Stop doing this, Pris. So, what do you know about ESG investing?
I just know it's investing, but with your morals tied to it.
It's pretty much, I guess it is, in a way, that it goes deeper than morals, of course. Yeah, so according to, maybe we should refer to resources on the internet.
Probably that would be smart.
Yes, because I am not an expert in ESG investing either, but according to Market Watch, there's this report in the US. It's called the Report on US Sustainable and Impact Investing Trends. So basically, what this report says is that sustainable investing assets, they now total at about $17 trillion, roughly. Okay? And it's a good thing because why? This is actually a 42% increase since 2018. So that's why I'm talking to you about ESG investing today, because it's kind of like a growing trend,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people might be interested to know what it's about and stuff like that. So basically, it's just this whole thing that I just mentioned about the investing assets that are now at like $17 trillion. It's a growing market basically, and it's very focused on like sustainable growth. Yeah. So ESG, like we just went through, it's actually just the 3 main factors that measure sustainability and the societal impact of a company or business. So what do you think I mean by that?
I just think that, when you're putting your money into like stocks and all that, you're actually kind of supporting those companies. And, I think it's very interesting because, as someone who just started investing, I don't really think about that. I just think about like how what can they give back to me.
Right.
Yeah, but then I recently, because after knowing what's ESG investing, it's very interesting to know what's the social issues behind like some of the things that the companies might be doing, like ethical practices, environmental habits, environmental impact that the companies have on the earth, basically.
Yeah, and it's not just environmental impact. It's also like how does the company treat their employees? That's also very important.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put your money, I think investing is kind of like endorsement in a way. Like you said, supporting, right? But I will use the word endorsement.
Like putting where your mouth is it? Putting your money where your mouth is.
Where do you want me to put my mouth is? God help me.
Sorry.
I don't.
Putting your money where your mouth is.
Yes, correct.
God damn.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're like a person who like cares about the environment, you wouldn't invest in like, I don't know, oil and gas, because that's like actively harming the environment, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that lah. So ESG is basically just a framework and a strategy through which investors use to like analyze their stocks.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so let's just get into what ESG is. So let's start with E, which is environmental. Yes. So basically, the E portion of ESG, it's quite self-explanatory, I feel. It's just basically, how does this company impact the earth? Yeah, does it, when it takes like resources from the earth, does it leave things like, I don't know, like deforestation, I guess? I think about things like oil spills as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, I think, important. And I think this is something that people are not like unfamiliar with, because you have a lot of those like climate change rallies, right?
Yeah,
in the past few years.
But it's not new, you know what I mean? I'm very surprised by the drastic rise in the ESG investing.
Why?
Like the 42%, even though I think global warming has been like a thing for like
Yes.
further back from like 2018, right?
Actually, even further back, I mean, do you remember like in primary school, people talk about like, oh, you need to do your recycling, got the recycling challenges and everything.
Yeah,
I was so competitive. Wanted to recycle all those newspapers. Like,
I see.
yeah.
But yeah, I wonder why is that, because I realize a lot of companies now, they have like environmentally friendly is like a plus point now. It's a selling point. It's a USP. Whereas last time, like I don't know, I think companies didn't really push that as a USP.
Yeah, I guess because I think maybe last time people were still environmentally conscious, you know, like climate change, global warming. They talk about like greenhouse gas emissions, recycle, reuse, all that. But I think maybe only in recent years then it's kind of translated over into the business side of things.
Yeah, I think because last time they put more like responsibility on the individual, but then ever since, I guess I like to tie everything to the rise of the internet, but ever since the rise of the internet, and like, you know, information has just become more accessible to everyone else, so I guess we now know that the individual doesn't really make that much of an impact, but where the biggest impacts are actually businesses. Yeah. So I've heard of like recently, just on like another podcast, I shall not name because I'm jealous.
Right.
And I want all of your attention on us. Yeah, and one of the sponsorships was a jewelry company, and then a lot of their like plus points were being carbon neutral, like like the jewelry is made from recycled materials, recycled gold or silver. Yeah. So I find that change very interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah,
to be environmentally conscious and friendly, even
it's
as a company, because like I want to be able to put my money towards like a good cause, and I don't just mean charity. I mean like I want to put my money in a company that can effect change in a way that I cannot do as an individual.
Yeah.
You know, like don't stress me out about like using metal straws. Let me just put my money with a company that can reverse climate change. If I can put it that way, you know? Yeah, because this all literally just makes the world a better place to live in.
Yeah.
Like our future, right? And I think in terms of like how the world is changing environmentally, I think we're already feeling the effects. Like nowadays, the weather is like hotter than ever, you know. But the weather is also very erratic. Random nonsense.
Just the other day, like I thought got haze, but actually it's like more ozone gases in our atmosphere. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, I thought it was like forest fires again.
It's not. It's ozone gases. That makes it look like smoggy.
So, you know, all these things are like happening and we cannot ignore it anymore. It's not like, oh yes, it's just a concept. Climate change is it's not real. It's real, guys.
It's your concept, it's not my concept.
So, you know, by investing in companies who care about the environment, you are also helping those, or even helping yourself, you know, those who are affected by what's happening but cannot afford to like do anything about it to effect real change. Which I think is super good lah. Like I guess, you know, as we are both investing, we can look out for companies that are dedicated to sustainability. You know, I think that's a good thing.
So the next one is what? S, social?
Yes, S for social. So basically, I think it's quite straightforward. It basically means like we are looking at how a company or how the company's culture, I guess, affects the people around them. So it has to do with a lot of issues about employee treatment. Are they diverse when they're hiring? Are they inclusive, or like do they discriminate against like, I don't know, people of certain sexual orientations or something like that? And like does the company put in effort on like, you know, social justice issues? And I think it's important, or it could be important to people, because like the same thing as environment, right? You're putting your money towards a company that will treat the environment right. So now you also want to put your money into a company that treats people right. So I guess things like labor exploitation, I think it's bad. You know, obviously.
You think it's
no, I don't think it's bad.
It might be good.
Perhaps, yes.
Of course, it's bad, guys.
Yes, you know, things like so things like labor exploitation. underpaying employees, making use of like people in other countries to like basically you pay them very little for the work that they're doing. Yeah, and so basically when you look at a company for like the S, the S, social, you want to be endorsing a company that is making progress towards like basically a more equal society.
Yeah. At least a society that you yourself would want to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think about like some of my friends on Facebook who are very vocal about like don't go for this company, you know, they do animal testing, it's very cruel, you know, all these makeup brands and stuff. It's more than just assessing the financial performance of a company in this case. It's really about how are you treating your people, and are you okay with that? You know?
Yeah. Are you okay with like paying these people money?
Okay, so now on to our final alphabet of the day.
My favorite.
Yes, and it's G for
Good.
governance. Thank you, Pris, for being utterly unhelpful.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Okay, so the last part of ESG, corporate governance or governance, it sounds a bit chim, and I guess it kind of is because it has to do with more of looking at a company's internal structure, how these corporates, I guess, like a board of directors and stuff, how they relate to different stakeholders and how the business is run. So I think it has to do with how transparent a company is, because you don't want to like, you know, break the law, engage in fraudulent activities and
But
stuff.
how would you know, right?
That's a very good question.
I guess until it gets exposed.
Yeah. So
But then like how does it be like how do you get like the G like certification? I mean, they won't be like, oh, they're
good.
they're good. They're perfectly legal.
I think how people can figure this out is like if a company holds their annual general meetings, like I guess lah, I'm guessing it's all just conjecture at this point. Like if you can interact directly with like the board members, I think that's what AGMs are for. Because like you want to go there, you want to see who's on the board, who are you. You put your money in it, but who is the person that's like
there's controlling, there's calling the shots, right? In the company.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's important that like these meetings are important so that, you know, stakeholders or investors, they're given a chance to like, you know, vote on important issues. So then you feel
right.
you know, that's the point. It's not like vote for fun, like, hey, you know, like, I want to be heard for no reason at all.
At least like you'll know that there's more opinions being heard rather than just one person making all the decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
And if a company is transparent, then I mean, you will also be able to tell as a stakeholder that the company is like maybe it is making efforts to avoid conflicts of interest. Like for example, when they elect board members, and they're not like engaging in shady practices, or they're not like, I don't know, I can only think of the word shady. Like, just don't be shady.
just don't invest in shady companies.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah. So governance is really everything in the company lah. So, you know, the structure can dictate how the company is run from the top down. And I mean, as an investor, you will want to be involved, or you want to be in the know. Yeah. Especially in this, which I think this should be, I think all three sections, I don't know what the word is. All three
components.
Thank you, components. You can do the words. Yeah, so all three components are like equally important. Yes.
And I find it like very interesting that you say that, because it's like I never thought of myself as an investor into a company, because like when people are like setting up the company in like in like what Shark Tank, and they're like trying to gather like investors and stuff, then it's usually like in the billions, but actually you are also an investor.
Yeah. We're literally investors.
We are literally investors. We have some skin in the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Very important.
Yes, it is.
We drive the companies.
Yeah. Well, a small share, a small piece.
Why are you toning it down? We're trying to like
unless you own a majority of
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we've gone through what ESG means, I have another question for you, Pris, and that's like, you know, as a beginner investor, do you think this is like your gut feeling? Do you think this is easy to get into? Is this beginner friendly, if I can put it that way?
Actually, my immediate answer would be yes.
Why?
Because it's like, I mean, of course, I feel like maybe it comes naturally. Be like, okay, I will invest in what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this one good. You know, like, okay, you know what I visualize this to be?
What?
I visualize to be like the energy efficiency ticks. The 5 ticks that I give.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I imagine like this ESG rating to be. So then I'll be like, okay, I just take the 4 ticks one.
Where are you gonna go to find the 4 ticks? Who is giving out the 4 ticks? And you know what I'm saying? All these questions you're not asking, you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for the 4 ticks company. Like
Yeah, so that's what I thought. But then that's my gut feeling lah. Then now you go and tell me all of this. Then like I go and see what's ESG investing. Then of course I'm like, no lah, you have to go own self go and research
Yeah.
And then you own self have to give the ticks, you know. Then I'm like,
own self. Okay lah, it's not just own self give the ticks lah. There are actually, you know, like committees out there. I think fund managers also certain companies, investment firms, they will also help to provide this framework and be like, okay, so this is our list of ESG companies that you can invest in.
But I think you own self have to go and like research yourself, right?
That's true. That's true. And it's not just about like, I mean, don't even talk about ESG. Before ESG, then you have to look at what? You have to look at how profitable a company is. You have to look at financial statements. I'm just like, I hate numbers.
Yeah,
you know,
there's just so many words and I don't understand what these words mean.
And then on top of these numbers, now you have to think about like, oh, is this company making a good environmental impact? And it's not enough it's not just enough to have a company that's like environmentally friendly. What if they are environmentally friendly, but then they exploit their workers? And then what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe they don't get the 4 ticks.
Maybe they get 2 ticks. But is 2 ticks enough for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what can you live with? What can you like let go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think the lines can get blurred pretty easily. And I think that's why people sometimes also talk about like, there's no such thing as ethical advertising, because even if a company seems to be all about social change, it's still motivated by profit. So in the end, if it's tied to money, can it really be truly ethical?
Oh, that's such a philosophical question.
It's something to think about lah.
Yeah.
It's not so easy. It's not so black and white as we want it to be. Like, yes, metal straws, you will have my dollar. But like, how are these metal straws being produced? Somebody may be getting bullied halfway across the world to create those bullied straws.
Interesting. You phrase exploitation as being bullied.
Yes, but I mean, that's not to say beginners cannot do ESG investing lah.
It's just that
one way, I guess, if you do want to get to it but you don't know how, or if you're scared of like, I don't know, assessing all of that, you can get into, I think, ETFs. I think that's always the easy way to start.
Yeah.
Because that's how we started investing also, right? We just bought ETFs because we're like,
basic.
Hashtag basic. Basic investing. Yeah. So instead of analyzing individual stocks and companies and getting yourself a headache, look into ETFs instead. But of course, this is just to kind of kickstart your journey. You will not be investing in ETFs all the way. Although if you wanted to, you can. But I'm not endorsing it. I'm not endorsing any particular way of investing.
We are not financial advisors.
Definitely not.
Don't come for us.
We're literally just content creators. But we also have skin in the game because we're also investing. So anyway, what was I saying? Yes. So start with ETFs, start simple, and as you learn more, not just about ESG but also about investing, the more you know, then the more you can do lah with your money.
Yep.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, even if it's just an ETF, you're still making impact somehow.
Whether it's good or bad, we don't know.
Wow, what a cliffhanger.
Because I mean, there's so many different kinds of like ETFs, right? I mean, if you want to go ESG but easy mode, it can be like ESG ETFs.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up. So what do you learn today, Pris? What does ESG stand for? Please give me the correct answer this time.
Environmental, social, and corporate governance. But
awesome.
So the G stands for corporate governance.
Governance lah, or corporate governance?
Good just is so much gooder.
Fine. Invest in good companies only, I guess. So, so in summary, when you invest in ESG, you're putting your money towards something that is hopefully good for the environment, for the future of humanity, for your future children, if you're going to have kids. And hopefully also at the same time, while you're investing in good, you're also, doing something good for your pocket as well. Because that's the point, why you can't just, it's not like you put money into ESG companies, they're like, no profit, never mind, we're saving the world.
You might as well just give to a charity, right? Then
so let's be real, this is also kind of about profit as well. So the recap, it's not very beginner friendly because it can be quite complicated, but that doesn't mean you can't start right now, like with ETFs. So while you learn more about how to analyze your stocks, how to look at a company, ESG ETFs is easy mode, and it can be a good way to start off your journey in ESG investing and saving the world, if I can put it that way. So I hope that we have explained the basics well enough.
Well, more like you explained it to me.
It's true.
So I'll give you 4 ticks.
Oh, nice. Yes. So always make sure to do your research and your due diligence before investing in anything, as usual. It's not just about ESG. Anything else you want to invest in, please look into it.
Please, don't just listen to us.
Don't just read Don't
anyhow say please say got 4 ticks or 3 ticks. Then
don't. We are not financial advisors.
Yes, obviously. I literally just sang that Daikin tick song.
She did! So much effort! That's a wrap on another episode of Keep It Simple.
Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. And also leave a comment, especially if you like these faces.
Even if you don't like these faces, please comment anyway because we want to know what you think. And we're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. So if you're on those platforms, remember to subscribe for new episodes. Okay.